The Star Child. One cold winter night, two poor woodcutters were walking home through a dark forest after a long day of work. The snow lay thick on the ground, and the trees stood silent, casting long shadows under the pale light of the moon. As they trudged along, they suddenly saw something strange. A star seemed to fall from the sky, landing in the forest not far from where they stood. Curious and a little afraid, they decided to investigate. When they reached the place where the star had fallen, they were astonished to find a beautiful child lying on the snow. The boy was wrapped in a golden cloak embroidered with stars and had a chain of amber around his neck. He appeared to be no more than a few months old, but his radiant beauty was otherworldly. "Surely this child is a gift from the heavens," one woodcutter said. "We cannot leave him here to perish in the cold." The first woodcutter, who had 10 children of his own and barely enough food to feed them, hesitated. "How can we care for another mouth?" he asked. But the second woodcutter, who had no children, insisted they take the child to the village. "I will raise him as my own," he said. "Perhaps he has been sent to bring us good fortune." And so they brought the child back to their village. The second woodcutter took him into his humble home, naming him the Star Child. As the years passed, the boy grew up to be even more beautiful. His golden hair shone like sunlight, and his eyes were as blue as violets. People from far and wide marveled at his beauty, but it became clear that the boy's heart was not as fair as his appearance. The Star Child was proud and vain. He believed himself superior to everyone around him, treating the poor, the sick, and the elderly with disdain. He would mock beggars who came to the village, throw stones at animals, and laugh at those who were less fortunate. Despite the efforts of his foster father to teach him kindness and humility, the boy's heart remained hard. One day, a beggar woman arrived in the village. Her clothes were tattered, her face was scarred, and she walked with great difficulty. She approached the Star Child, who was playing with his friends near the village square. "My son," she said, "I am your mother. I have searched for you these many years. Please come with me." The boy recoiled in disgust. "How dare you call yourself my mother?" he sneered. "You are filthy and ugly. I am the child of the stars, not the son of a beggar." He turned to his friends and mocked her, and they joined in his laughter. The woman's eyes filled with tears, and she said, "You may deny me now, but the truth cannot be denied. One day, you will seek me and not find me." With that, she disappeared into the forest. At that moment, the Star Child's beauty vanished. His golden hair turned dull and matted, his violet eyes became small and lifeless, and his fair skin grew rough and weathered. The villagers, who had once admired him, now turned away from him in disgust. Even his foster father refused to shelter him, saying, "Your pride has brought this upon you. You must seek forgiveness from your mother if you wish to be restored." Filled with shame and regret, the Star Child set out to find the beggar woman. He wandered through forests and across barren lands, enduring hunger, cold, and hardship. Along the way, he encountered many people in need. At first, he was too consumed by his own suffering to help them, but gradually, his heart began to change. One day, he met a poor man sitting by the roadside, shivering from the cold. The man begged for food, but the boy had only a small piece of bread. Remembering his own hunger, the boy shared his bread with the man. To his surprise, the man's face lit up with gratitude, and for the first time, the Star Child felt a sense of warmth and purpose. Later, he came across a wounded fox caught in a trap. Though he was afraid of the animal's sharp teeth, he freed it and tended to its wounds. The fox looked at him with trust and gratitude before running off into the forest. These small acts of kindness began to transform the boy's heart. Finally, after many months of searching, the boy arrived in a great city where a cruel magician ruled. The magician captured him and forced him to work as a slave, sending him on impossible tasks. One of these tasks was to find 3 pieces of gold hidden in a dark forest. Each time the boy found a piece of gold, a leper appeared and begged for it. Though the boy feared the magician's wrath, he gave the gold to the leper each time, saying, "Your need is greater than mine." When he returned to the magician empty-handed, he expected to be beaten or worse. But instead, the magician released him, saying, "Your compassion has set you free." As the boy left the city, he saw the leper standing at the gates. To his astonishment, the leper revealed himself to be the beggar woman, his mother. She embraced him, and her touch restored his beauty. "You have learned the true meaning of love and humility," she said. "Now you are truly my son." The star child returned to his village, where the people welcomed him back as a changed person. He grew up to become a wise and just ruler, using his position to help the poor and protect the weak. He ruled for 3 years, bringing peace and prosperity to his people. But one day, he disappeared, and no one ever saw him again. The villagers mourned him for many years, remembering him not for his beauty, but for the goodness of his heart.